Hello, I'm Jonasz Lewiński, and this is Break the Fake. They make them, we break them, and tell you all you need to know. With each episode of our show, we aim to inform and entertain, using satire to dissect complex topics ranging from politics to social issues. Through meticulous research and witty commentary, we aim to challenge the status quo and hold the powerful accountable. It's a privilege to have a platform where we can make a difference and engage with audiences worldwide. Together, we can provoke ideas, spark conversations, and inspire change for a better tomorrow. And throw in the occasional NAFO meme or Warhammer 40k reference, but you already know that by now, right? You might be wondering, why the special intro? Well, sometimes our quest to challenge the status quo and strive for accountability takes us to the most unusual of places. Take the Caucasus, for example. For some time now, Armenia and Azerbaijan have been persuading the international community of their joint efforts to hold peace talks. But it seems that the negotiations are instead used as a smokescreen for what is essentially an arms race and a delaying tactic ahead of renewed confrontation. Armenian Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan is sparing no effort to paint himself as a dove of peace, but his efforts are anything but, in fact. After scrounging up some arms from France, Pashinyan began blackmailing Moscow, and while the Russians are not exactly prone to respond well to such tactics, the country is seeing a rise in pro-Armenian sentiments lately. Working the other side, Pashinyan is also eagerly declaring interest in joining the European Union, all the while assuring Russia of his allegiance. Meanwhile, Baku is raising the alarm over Yerevan reportedly moving its troops towards the border with Azerbaijan. The Russians are really working hard to expand the definition of total war. In their most recently updated version, it includes not only attacking military targets and civilian infrastructure, but also spiritual warfare. In the video coming up, you'll see an old military van, commonly known as a bukhanka, with a PA system mounted on top and styled to resemble an Orthodox church. Why? To repel Ukrainian demons, of course.
От лица сил противовоздушной обороны хотелось бы поблагодарить телеграм-канал за неоднократно оказанную помощь. Спасибо за крепкий тыл, спасибо за то, что вы на каждую просьбу не оставляете без внимания. Вместе мы сила. Спасибо.
Lo and behold, here comes the Warhammer reference I alluded to earlier. Don't tell me you've looked at this thing and didn't think, man, that's an Adeptus Sororitas Exorcist tank. When you order it on Wish, the Emperor protects. But if it's the Russian Emperor we're talking about, then all he does is send you to the front line in this ecclesiastical-styled rattletrap, and your duty ends soon afterwards. But there is more. Not satisfied with resorting to black magic, the Russians are also using chemical weapons. According to the Telegraph, Moscow's troops have been dropping CS gas, banned by the Convention on Chemical Weapons, on Ukrainian positions using drones. Although not lethal, CS gas has been known to cause panic, which can prompt soldiers to leave their fortified positions and leave them vulnerable to conventional enemy fire. Meanwhile, in the Middle East, apparently, Israel might be deploying deadly EMP bombs against Iran, should Tehran decide to respond to a recent attack against its diplomatic outpost in Syria. Citing a national security expert, Ma'ariv is reporting that an EMP bomb might be used against Tehran and other centers in Iran, especially facilities and installations related to its nuclear program. As the report details, the bomb itself is not lethal to humans, but it emits an electromagnetic pulse capable of shutting down all electronic devices within a given radius. This means that a considerable part of Tehran's infrastructure will be put out of service, providing an opening that Israel might want to exploit further. Russia probably wishes it could get its hands on one of those. And how is Russia faring these days, you may ask, by the way? Well, last Friday evening, on the 5th of April, a dam on the Ural River broke in the city of Orsk in the Orenburg region, prompting authorities to issue urgent evacuation orders for the areas threatened by the flooding. Not long afterwards, a federal state of emergency was declared for the region. Now, Russian media outlets are reporting that declarations like these are triggered only when the number of people killed or injured exceeds 500, or the damage exceeds $13 million.
Сколько нам для этого? Дома куда-то, если будет снимать, все, понятно. Она это пахнет, как вы проветриваете? Да, будет. Полностью скрывать. Ну, как вы проветриваете?
В глазах лежал. Да, вон падает. В глазах
But the plot, of course, thickens. On the 3rd of April, with spring flooding imminent, the mayor of Orsk reportedly posted on his social media channels that city officials checked the dam and everything was fine, with no danger of the installation failing. But the local prosecutor's office is now saying that the dam burst due to poor maintenance and servicing on the part of the staff. That's so typical. Why not take the billions the Kremlin is spending on the war in Ukraine to instead ensure the safety of the Russian people? Buildings collapsing in winter, mass flooding due to dam breaches in the spring. It doesn't look that public safety is exactly a priority for the Russian authorities. Maybe it's just karma for the Russians taking out the Kakhovka Dam in Ukraine, triggering a massive environmental disaster. The Russians love to paint themselves defenders of the Christian faith, so how about the reminder of the words of Christ himself? Do to others what you would have them do to you? Same rules apply here. But you'd think the Russians are devastated by what's ultimately a preventable disaster. Well, not all of them apparently are. Some have decided to make the best out of a poor hand. Well, at least now the locals don't have to vacation abroad, right? They can spend their free time swimming in a body of water so thoughtfully made for them by the Orsk officials, embezzling dam maintenance money. Gotta take a look at the bright side of things, right? Welcome to the Russian Riviera. Enjoy the water, and most of the periodic table of elements that surely comes with it. And with this, we end this episode of Break the Fake. Please stay with us here on TVP World. I'm Janusz Lewiński. Bye for now.